You might have been born first, but you are not as important as the rest of us anymore. So,
So you think like there's like a bunch of zebras up in space?
something more similar to that.
Yeah. They're at the,
Oh, baby.
Okay, so now we're back in.
We're back.
We're
My
back.
name
Back
is-
on the air. Let's introduce ourselves.
Introduce ourselves again.
From our sponsors.
Yes. Okay, so aliens, question mark. The question mark is vital in the statement. I was just going to put aliens, but aliens?
I was having a conversation about Area 51 this past weekend.
Ooh. I'm interested.
And I attribute the formation of Area 51 to prior planning. I think that the military, the government has decided to make a most likely, what's most likely a thing? Okay. What's the best case scenario? But then what's the worst case scenario, right? So they're just planning ahead. And I think that they did that following Roswell in the 40s, right? 40s was when the Roswell sightings all happened, I think. I think that they were like, you know what if these people really did see all these things? Or like, what if this particular video is more than just, what do they call it? It's not called a UFO. The government doesn't call it UFOs. They call it,
I have zero clue, man.
they call it something else. Like UAR?
No, UFOs.
No, it's not UFO. It's aerial. It's something unidentified aerial something.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
they
I
named it
think
So they
something
that's
else.
changed one letter.
And then, they moved something around.
Should be cooler.
Yeah, we're the government, so we need a different name.
Because now they're like reporting to Congress on maybe or whatever. They have like their own UFO report or UAR report. So they submitted to Congress. Like,
My question is this. Do y'all believe in aliens?
so now we're getting on the believe.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a possibility. I'm not knocking the idea, saying like, no way, never.
You see, I think there could be.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's in the same way that we've depicted in films and everything. I think it would be more of
No.
a like cellular level. Like on Mars, there's some type of
There's a living organism
Yeah.
potentially. Something that has life. in
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Right.
But
Not
it's
like
a
it's
plant
gonna
or like
eat you.
yeah. It's not gonna come out and just grab you and take you away. Like
So there's no chance it looks like E.T.
E.T. was kind of cute though.
Right.
Oh,
If it's just E.T.,
E.T. phone home.
I hate ET.
So cute.
yeah.
I really do, man. Just everything about it bothers me. Like, what? Why the finger glow thing? Like, is that a device, or can every single one of those critters do that? Like, are they just all walking around?
They have all that light. They have the light inside of them.
The heart of Jesus.
They have the
Heart of Jesus.
Why is that in his finger?
I think it's their whole body. They carry the light in the whole body, right?
No.
No?
It's just finger.
It's just the finger?
Yeah.
Just the finger.
Because God says love everyone.
He can't even
Finger
fight.
lift.
Like,
Wink.
ET is a weak critter. He can't do anything.
He was short.
He was
and
short.
Small.
Could barely walk. The only
barely
thing
had
he
any
could do-
legs.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could just make things float.
Little tiny thing.
Yeah.
You'll
is pretty
float,
sweet.
too. That is pretty sweet. I won't
And
knock
his
that.
eyes were like,
Massive.
it was
loving him or hating him?
freaky.
What?
It was freaky.
I don't know.
but-
I'm hating
I
it.
did just go on the ET ride at Universal this past
Ooh.
week, and I remember enjoying that particular one because it's a ride,
Yeah.
not like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of like
There's a
Disney.
distinction.
Big
There
fun.
is.
Like
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
rides.
Well,
kind of.
I love the Disney rides too, where
Okay.
you're like in the boat
Yeah.
or the ship or on Peter Pan, and you like
Uh-huh.
ride through the story, right?
Yep.
Or like Winnie the Pooh, you're like
Finding
in
Nemo.
the pot of honey,
Yep.
and you ride through the story
Yep.
of Pooh. I love those rides. Roller coasters, And so at Universal, E.T. is the same way to me.
Okay.
I like the E.T. ride because you're on a bicycle. And E.T. is right in front of you, and he pops up out of it,
Nope.
and then goes back down, and then you're riding through, you're getting chased by the police, and it's pretty sweet. I like it.
I was okay until you told me E.T. was in the basket.
He's in the
Yeah,
basket.
That would freak
You
me out.
are on a bicycle, and it's the most fun if you're sitting in the front row, which we
Okay.
just so happened to get the front row of bicycles. So it was cool because he's literally where this cup is, raising his head and looking around and coming out. And
Okay.
Are you strapped into the bicycle?
yeah, you're strapped. You got a little.
You can't leave.
Well, we were talking
You're on
about
this bike
the
for
rides
life.
yesterday, and you also mentioned another ride that has a bike. Like the motorcycle.
Yes,
and the
that's the
sidecar.
Hagrid.
I cannot figure out. I've been thinking about it since yesterday. How are you strapped in? What is stopping somebody from getting off the bike on the ride?
My favorite part about that particular roller coaster is the
Hagrid?
Hagrid's Escape or Hagrid's.
Is this with the broom,
Harry Potter
thing? So are you
Yeah.
on a
With
broom?
the broom.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about Harry Potter, but I know that the big half giant guy, the creep in the woods, is what I call him.
Uh-huh.
He has a motorcycle with a sidecar that flies.
yeah,
I guess. And so one person sits in the sidecar,
Yeah.
and one person sits up on
that's
the
cool.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I mean, I ride motorcycles, and I love riding motorcycles. I don't like a lot of roller coasters, I think, because the air can't flow past me. A lot of times they're closed off behind you a little bit.
Right.
And so in the sidecar, you're kind of closed off in the sidecar. It's just your head sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
But on the motorcycle, like I'm sitting all the way up above whoever's next to me on the, and it's sweet. All the air's rushing. I might as well just be on a motorcycle. And you're going through everything. I had a good time on that particular ride. But you are lapped between the handlebars and it holds you down on your lap.
What's behind you?
I mean, there's a little piece of seat.
Like a little bucket seat?
Yeah,
Piece of
kind of.
seat.
It's a little piece of seat.
You get like a
So
tiny
not
cushion.
like a real straight up motorcycle.
No. There's a little. You sit
Yeah.
down into it, but on
Okay.
most motorcycles, you have that little lip behind you anyway as well, unless you're the passenger. Then you just gotta
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, then you just hold on. Have we all ridden a motorcycle before?
No.
If we're going
Dirt
down
bike.
this train.
Dirt bike.
Dirt
Yeah,
bike.
not motorcycle.
Okay.
I want to one day buy a motorcycle. Like I've been looking at Indians.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful bike brand. They're kind of like Harley Davidson, but a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And because now that they're coming back, they were actually the first motorcycle brand to come out, and then Harley Davidson came out. So they retired for a long time. I don't remember the exact date of when they stopped, and
Yeah, they quit,
like
which is probably a good idea
Yeah.
or a bad idea. Harley would sell the business
Yep.
to whoever had money.
Yep.
Over the years, so they've been in and out of like good production, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Indian was like, nah, can't do it anymore.
Yep.
So they just quit, and so then
They just came back.
Yeah.
Like I don't even.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years
3
ago,
or
something like that.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Creating some beautiful antique kind of looking bikes. So going back to more of their traditional roots. So we're not talking about carrying a whole lot of gear unlike Harley. Like Harley, Yamaha, any of the other bike brands, you're going to be able to carry a pretty good amount of gear. The Indian bike brand, you're going to have to put in some personal installments with it. But beautiful bike.
Yes.
That's something I've been looking into. I want to, but I
You know,
haven't.
the oldest motorcycle, traditional motorcycle they found, older than an Indian,
Really?
was actually in the wall of Barnum, from Barnum and Bailey, the circus. Barnum, he made the first motorcycles they can find.
Really?
Yeah, and it was in the wall. It was a staircase in his apartment that he had lived in, and the walls fell in. And inside the wall was a motorcycle that was older than the first Indians. This is the late 1800s.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Like engine powered and
Yeah.
everything?
Yep. Yep. So in his time creating the circus and whatnot,
Yeah.
he was like an inventor, you know, and so he
Yeah. So
was
he
tinkering his own way through a Barnum motorcycle.
made
I
a
wonder how-
motorcycle, put it in a wall, and said, "That'll do."
Yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
I don't want to ride you.
I think maybe there was a fire or something is what happened. Like
Oh.
that had been like a workshop maybe at some
If
point, and
it's
it had just
not
gotten
in
blocked
the Greatest
off.
Showman,
That's what I was
don't
going to say.
know.
They left
Right.
it out.
What a great movie. I like that movie. I do like that movie.
I love that.
The Greatest Showman.
Never
Oh,
know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Water for Elephants. I've seen that, but
Not seen that.
it's pretty good.
All right. So aliens, possibly yes, possibly no. Who knows?
I feel the same
Possibly
way.
yes. I'm like 50-50.
I'll
Long
go
as they're
crazy.
Are they
nice
are
and
they
friendly.
created in God's image?
Oh.
No.
This
Yes,
is when
'cause they're
this
out
is
of this world.
So you see, yeah, and so that's where I think we get to the conversation of like, man, we as humans are told we were created in God's image, right?
Yep.
Animals are here and they're beautiful.
Yep.
And they're living organisms. I think that if there's aliens, I can't attribute intelligent life
Yeah.
to aliens.
Yeah.
The way I attribute it to humans, because I believe God's told us He created us in His image. So,
So you think like there's like a bunch of zebras up in space?
something more similar to that.
Yeah.
If there are, I don't think they're going to end up coming out and finding us.
They're
That's
not going to
where
come
I have
attack,
a hard time.
like Independence Day.
I have a hard time with the UFOs thing.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with. I'm not saying there's not a living thing out
Yeah.
there,
Organism,
right?
yeah.
But I don't think it's an intelligent being.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I would say I don't really think of aliens as being like, oh, they're so smart. They're smarter than us. Like, yeah.
They've already figured out the cure for cancer.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, they're weird. They're creepy. Maybe they look like E.T.
How do you know
Maybe
what they
they
look
want to
like?
eat you.
We don't know.
I don't know. I feel the same way about them like birds. I don't think birds are real. I've never seen a baby pigeon. I've also never seen
What?
a baby alien.
Are we going
So hands
there?
down, I don't
Are we really going there?
believe it.
Are birds real?
Do you believe in flat Earth?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I don't.
Okay.
But you know of the whole birds
Yes.
thing.
Not being
the
real.
whole
I have
birds. Have
Yeah.
you heard of
well,
it?
pigeons. Specifically
Have you
Ever
pigeons.
seen a
Oh,
baby
really?
pigeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
No.
in.
I
was
looked up
in-
a picture of one
So I was in
online.
Orlando,
Thank you.
I haven't seen one.
and I'm running in the
Is this
mornings. I'm running in the mornings, and I'm going down the road, and this sidewalk I had run down to the end, and there's like a little bus stop at it. It was about 3/4 of a mile from the entrance of the resort I was at, right?
Yeah.
So I'd run down there once already, and I was running. I'm doing this online virtual series, and it happened to be while I was in Orlando. So sadly, I had to run 12.9 miles a day for 4 days in a row, and go to the anyway.
don't think
So
you
at
ever
one time, I ran down and then back already once. I got back there around 6:30 in the morning. My second time down this road, and I look and I look down and around, and there's this little baby bird sitting on the.
No.
Did I say
And I
bird
s-
or pigeon?
Yeah, it was a pigeon.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was a pigeon.
Why did it crunch like that?
'Cause
It's
it has
probably
a
a
pigeon.
government drone.
It had little bones in it. They have little bones in them.
They have hollow
And
bones.
then also there's this. No, this is a dove. Okay, this is a dove, which is very similar
Different
in
people.
construction.
They're
we'll
like
say,
a pretty
to-
Is a cat similar to a dog?
No, those are total
No.
opposite. But these
Neither
are the
is a dove
same.
or a
These are
pigeon.
really close. In my mind, I could breast out a pigeon and eat it, and it would taste exactly like a dove. So in my mind, same. So there's these doves that live in my neighbor Andy's
I've never seen a dove before.
bush, right? And they like his bush for their nest. And he has these 2 GSPs, and they love getting in and around that bush because they know there's baby birds in there, baby doves. So they're there. I'm telling you, they're real.
Raeford has
They're real.
everything, doesn't it?
Well,
I've never seen a baby dove.
I stepped on the baby pigeon
Okay, you're
in
just-
Florida.
Uh-huh.
But
But there are doves. in
and
your
so here's
neighborhood.
the other thing that I'll say. In Florida again, I have all Florida stories right now, evidently. So the Florida panther, it's a mountain lion. It's a cougar. All right.
Oh, you're
But
getting on that?
the Florida I had to look it up. There's some people say as many as 280 right now, but most of the biologists in Florida believe there's less than 200. I was just looking this up and confirming the numbers. And in the whole anywhere of this subspecies of cougar, it's called the Florida panther, less than 200.
Where do they?
And so we saw one. Me
Where
and
do they
Kelsey saw
reside?
one going down this in Central Florida, to Southern Florida.
Okay.
And there it was on the side of the road. And so I'm telling you, there's so many pigeons out there. Their babies are there.
I've never.
Their babies are there.
It's all in
We
Florida.
So we
see
need to go to
all these
Florida.
pigeons. We see all these pigeons. I saw one of less than 200 Florida panthers in existence of the whole world.
Yeah.
And we happened to see one. We just got lucky. I promise we were just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So if you one day are in the right place at the right time, you might step on a baby pigeon and kill it.
There's a video on YouTube that you can look up where a pigeon, I think it's in New York, is eating a rat. I'm like swallowing it whole. But you talking about everything being in Florida, it makes so much more sense. Florida pigeon flies down to New York, eats rat. Boom.
This could be real. I will say in Raeford, I've seen ducks eating chickens, chickens eating other birds.
Yeah.
It all happens.
I've
They
never
all
seen
eat
that.
each other.
Yeah.
Survival of the
They all
fittest.
eat each other. For sure.
That's-
But they exist too.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so look it up on Instagram.
Will do.
there's a whole conspiracy theory about it.
The pigeons are from the government?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know about
Educate
any other
yourself.
birds, but I
Yeah.
know pigeons.
Cherish, will you please? Because
I honestly
I'm interested.
am not the best at this because I just like to get onto conspiracy theories for fun and act like I know everything.
Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't?
You're right.
I mean,
Josiah-
homeboy over
it's
here
a-
was
I
I would
talking
like to
about
share that
UFOs
Josiah
and
just was
Area
at a
51.
convention for the
So
Sasquatch. So
Yep.
he was at a Sasquatch convention recently.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Saturday.
Where?
I know two
Yeah.
people who've claimed they've seen the Sasquatch.
Right. It's a thing that people
Bigfoot or are
believe.
they
Bigfoot.
different?
Yeah, it's
Bigfoot.
a.
Okay, why don't we just say Bigfoot?
Well,
There's a lot of different names.
there's like people will give it like scientific names and things like that. I think that might be where I'm
Well,
not
it's
positive,
legend.
but
It's like mermaids that didn't they?
Oh.
Did they not have a different name prior to being called mermaids?
Sea
Mermaids.
people.
Sirens.
Sirens,
so
Dolphins?
at that maybe
fish.
yeah, just fish.
But
We're
yeah, so like
ladyfish.
just a legend carrying on, and the name changes
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, and there was talk of they're called cryptids, is what they like give them. All the different ones. So you have Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster and Chupacabra, and there's one in Jersey.
Remember that from Scooby
Have
Doo?
you
What?
heard of this one?
No.
There's and I can't remember for the life of me. It's like the Jersey Boogeyman or something. I don't know what it is, but it is a fourth
Oh my
North
gosh.
American cryptid that
Wow.
is New Jersey based. So
Wow.
you know, it's the Florida Panther conversation usually comes up with the Bigfoot
That's what I thought you were
conversation.
going to
Okay.
go with.
I was just highlighting how few there are,
And that you
we
gotta
still
see
saw
one.
one.
That is
Yeah.
And
pretty
so if
cool.
you're just,
To
if you're just in the
flex
right
it on
place, the
us.
right time.
Yep.
If they exist,
Predis.
which they do, then you're the chosen, right? Like you're
Yeah.
a part of the. You've been given this knowledge, right? Like how is that knowledge imparted to people through time? And like
Yeah. You
the
get to
Holy
carry
Spirit
it.
made sure I could see that Florida Panther at the right time because He knew
Because he
I
wanted to
needed
prove
that
your
insight.
theory.
I needed that insight.
Yeah.
I needed to prove my Bigfoot theory. So here's, and it's not mine. I stole this
Okay.
from a Steve Ranella. Okay, what he said when he was speaking to a Bigfoot writer was that his biggest problem is unless you give Bigfoot supernatural abilities, and he's just a creature, which some Sasquatchers believe. They also believe there's upwards of 2,000 of them in their little pods or in their little communities. So if there's so many of them, why in Florida there's less than 200 panthers? They average 3 getting hit by a car every year. And this 1,000-pound, 600 to 1,000-pound creature has never been
Seen.
hit by on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And so that digs into deeper conversations of, well, we never found any Sasquatch bones. But then it's like, who finds panther bones?
Yeah.
They hide in these deepest, darkest little crevices that people don't even get into. And so I'll let them have that one, the Sasquatchers. But if they don't give him supernatural powers, they haven't been hit by a car, except for in Harry and the Hendersons, which makes me believe that movie is potentially true. I don't know. That's a really old movie too. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what that
It's
is.
pretty
idea.
crazy, but
Weird question, but I gotta ask: what is one crypt that you would actually believe in?
Probably Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
he's the one.
Yeah.
Birds not being real. Sorry, still stuck on it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. I would like to believe that the Loch Ness Monster is real. I mean,
Oh,
to be
no,
fair,
no.
Boom.
the ocean is very deep. I know that's not like where it's
Agreed.
claimed to be at, but like
Agreed.
I believe
there could be
100%.
anything down in that ocean. We've
Yeah.
all seen Nemo.
Yep.
We know.
I believe 100% that the Loch Ness Monster, it may not be alive currently, but I believe
At
that
some
it
point.
was real at some point. Just because, again, we have no idea what's in the ocean or, especially after the flood, what could have got caught inside of there.
Right,
These
right.
could be considered the aliens.
Maybe.
Have you seen
Maybe.
some of those really deep, dark pictures of they bring up like some of the lowest of the
Yeah.
low like fish things,
Yep.
and they just look
Crazy.
Scary.
scary.
Yep.
So I'm the same way. Anything that has to do with under the water, because every square inch of Earth is mapped. we go out into the furthest reaches of the highest mountain, and you look down, and there's a little brass placard. Here in America, you look down, there's this little brass placard. Someone's already been there. They nailed it in 30 years ago.
Oh.
And that's their marker. That's their U.S. whatever.
Calling card, whatever.
Mark. It gives you the northing and...
Are you talking kind of like the Appalachian Trail with their...
Everywhere.
mark?
It doesn't... Like, you go out in the middle of the desert. I was in Arizona a couple months ago. I'd go out in the middle of the desert, and I'd say, I have all day. I have all week. I'm supposed to be quarantined. So I'm out here in the desert by myself. And so I want to go all the way up to that peak and see how many wild donkeys are up there.
Yeah.
And I'd get up there. And I'm like, man, no one's ever been up here, dude. No,
Yeah.
no
You feel
way.
special,
No
you're excited.
way. And there's this little brass marker. And it
Yeah.
tells you where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've already been there. And that's a job I
Yeah.
found out this last week.
Oh.
To go and replace them. And most states allow the person that replaces them to keep those, and they can sell it for money.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
What'd you get
What I
for that?
thought was, so not only did somebody make it up there once, they made it up there a second time with their little plaque.
Yeah. They know to go up there to that particular high point.
Yeah. They said nobody has a plaque here.
And so we can all pull up our maps right now, and we can zoom in
Yeah.
to a couple of inches or yards, depending on what mapping interface you use, and you can see everything, but not underwater. So that's why if I'm going to believe in something, a cryptid, the Loch Ness Monster is the one that I will go with 100%.
I put a vote in there.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not alive now, it has been alive.
Yeah.
I'd believe it.
That's true. That's good. Since we're on the conspiracy theory train, this I think has been established as a conspiracy theory, yet there are lots of news stories about it. So if you don't know, free Britney. And we're talking about Britney Spears.
Britney.
Do we all know
Britney.
what this is about?
Britney.
Some people need help.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
Brother.
who in the sitch?
Some people need help.
Oh, wait. Are you saying some people as in like you don't know what's going
No,
on?
Britney
Oh, you
needed
just
help
need- okay.
at one time.
At one time, yeah.
She needed
She
it.
still
Yeah.
need it?
I don't know. Have you guys checked her Instagram the last couple
But
years?
what if that's like something her parents are doing?
Oh man, have you guys checked her Instagram the last couple years?
No.
No.
It's
I
been
think
it's
I
been
saw a couple
scary,
things.
and there's been times where I legit because I remember just like I remember that one NSYNC song. I remember Britney Spears when we were in middle school and high school,
Yeah.
and she's like just coming out of the Disney Play Club or whatever, and
Yeah.
she's crazy. Still,
She crazy.
she wasn't. At one point, she wasn't. She was totally
Yeah.
normal. Her and JT, they made all the Disney
Yeah.
member stuff in the 90s. And they were normal kids. And then she had issues through the mid 2000s, which is where this came from. And it's been 13 years or something, 14 years. And now she wants out. But it's only been, I've only had Instagram for a year or something or two. And someone sent me a video of her trying on clothes or something. And I can't help but say to myself, I hope someone's taking care of her, which I didn't know about the 2008. What do they call it? What do they call the
Where she shaved her head?
no,
Awards?
what she's asking for
Oh.
relief from.
Oh, citizenship.
Yeah, it's
Concept.
Like,
no, it's not
No,
citizenship.
Conservatorship.
Conservatorship.
Yes.
Conservatorship. That's
Yeah,
hard
because they
to
are the
say.
conservator.
Conservatorship.
Yeah.
So she wants
out.
It's freedom from that, right?
Right.
But
Yes.
isn't the whole thing like if that's like actually what is happening in her life? Because the thing that I haven't heard a lot about it. What I do know is that this is the part that I think gets a little crazy is when people start thinking she's sending messages by
Yeah.
like somebody said wear a yellow shirt in this video if you need help, and she wears a yellow shirt.
She needs help.
Like,
I trust
do we as less about Britney and who she is as a person, because we don't personally know Britney.
Right.
but more about the lines of what we as a nation and a society attribute to.
What are we encouraging?
Yeah.
Is this more so our? Are you saying is it more so our fault for the way that she's become?
Oh.
Well, that's a big part of it because I think that's where the conspiracies come from a lot of times. Is because I remember this has been at least 2 years, and in all the comments on Instagram, me and Kelsey would be looking at this, and there's people like, "Oh no, she needs help," and "Oh no, she needs out of this," or "No, she needs out of this," and then I've seen where the next post she's trying on these different clothes, and they might be clothes from a weird message that someone says, "I think she needs help. Do you need help? Do this in your next thing," in like the 1,000th comment or something, and
Trying to gain.
I don't know. And so
Popularity.
she could be trying to secretly ask for help. It could also just be luck. There's only but so many colors, and eventually she's going to get back around to a different color shirt,
Right.
or she is being given what's best for her currently, without her hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever she's worth.
Well, that money isn't even given to her.
Exactly,
It's-
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
She wants
That's
it.
what
Yeah.
It's being
She
said,
wants
yes.
it. And I think the court denied it most recently.
Is this a real
The
thing?
currently the court has
Yeah.
denied her
Oh.
request for relief. And
That's why it's now exploding even more.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So currently
That's why we're
in
making
whatever
signs.
court last couple of days they've denied it currently. So there's
Yeah.
be more appeals. But in my mind a doctor should be able to say she's fine or she's not.
Yeah.
So
So ask for medical records.
yeah.
More so than just.
Yeah. It's
Well, then.
It's just
we like a recovery story though.
Yeah.
We love it.
But
Well,
my
we-
thing is,
we-
like,
we
if
want
it-
her to be
I would
okay.
We want her to be
Yeah.
good.
I would hope to believe that the court system would have asked for that kind of knowledge to be able to make that judgment appropriately. But that is also to where is the court system skewed to where they're playing favor for who is in ownership for her?
That's
Or
always
is
the
it
question.
More so she is actually cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's up to the court system, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, well, they have to give you like psychological tests. So I'm like, unless either she's not passing those, so they're like, no, I'm sorry, you're literally crazy. Or she's not passing them just because these doctors, whoever.
Are in
getting
cahoots with the
paid.
with her
Yeah.
dad. Or in
Cahoots.
cahoots with her
Yeah.
dad, right?
Here's my
Yeah.
question. How much does she get any of the money?
I think so.
Does she?
Really?
She's like
Because-
taken
I think
care
she-
of.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's kind of my thing is like, you have so many people in like lower economic family households that are going nuts for her. They're like, oh my gosh, free Britney, let her be. She is
Is that
eating-
Batman?
Free
Britney.
Free Britney, let her be.
Or I will kill you.
Batman's really, really. He's sitting downstairs in the lair, and Alfred's behind him. He's like,
She's the artist
Watching all the news stories.
He's like,
on
Robin,
we must
free
save
Britney.
Britney.
Yeah.
I'll come out of retirement for this.
They make a new Batman movie.
Yeah.
Batman frees Britney.
Forget about Superman. We got to focus on Britney.
Screw the Justice League. There's more important things. But they're worried about that, and then like out of anyone, her situation sucks. But it's not like she's living, as far as I know. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm tracking, she's not living in a shoebox. Like she's getting fed well. She is alive.
I would be.
the standard
That's the
for
standard
And I'm not
quality
backing.
of
I'm
life
not
is
backing
just
her
being
father
alive.
up at all.
Oh my gosh.
Not backing her father up. He might be an awful
Yeah.
dude. Maybe. I don't know. If I was him
Yeah.
and I'd seen her Instagram, I would be afraid of her wanting to spend all of her money going back on tour.
Yeah.
And from what she posts on social media, she's not in a place
To go
back on the road. And I think that she would end up funding it herself. How many times do you see people just waste away the rest of their fortune because they don't want to let it die or they're not ready to retire, and no one's willing to pay. So they're just going to front all the money because they believe in themselves, which I'm not saying you shouldn't believe in yourself. But I think that the conservatorship was put for a good reason initially. And that people
fairness,
just need to
though.
trust. People need to have some. No one has faith anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks everyone's trying to get over on them. And
In all
That's
fairness, though, if anyone was to put money on themselves and try to make a comeback, Britney would be the one to do pretty decent, at least for a year
I
or
would
two.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there will be some shot there.
I'd be happy.
Or people just want to know because they're like, oh my gosh, is she crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she free?
Yeah.
You know, Britney,
Yeah.
wink at us. You know?
There at the,
oh, baby, baby.
there was
Get the
a
cops.
guy at our gym. He had a shirt. It said "Free Britney" on it, and
Oh,
I was
no.
like, "Oh, that's so funny!" And I was like, "That's a Free Britney shirt," and he was like, "Yeah." And I did not
Not
know. I did not know if he was like
He was
wearing
angry.
it for a reason. Like, well,
you not
he wasn't
believe in the
angry,
cause?
but like, I wanted to like laugh. Like, that's
was
such a clever.
serious.
Like, that's so good. Like, you got to get the message out there. Like, I'm
Uh-huh.
just straight up like joshing this guy,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah. Like, not, I don't know if that's just his personality, but like,
Just very dry.
I got a little
sense
bit
of humor.
nervous.
Like,
and I said, I'm gonna step out of that one.
better get out of here quick.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. Anyways, so I didn't realize. I thought it was more of a. I guess when I learned more about Free Britney, it was more of a conspiracy thing. I didn't realize we were in the courts, and that seems above my pay grade now. So